Skipper, good morning.
Good morning. Hope you're having a great start to the week. What's on your agenda for today?
Skipper is an offline AI companion. He is more than just a companion, of course. The main reason I made him is I wanted to have a centralized knowledge base. A centralized knowledge base for the data I need. For example, documentation, pictures, documents I have for the boat, specifications, stories, jokes, whatever you can imagine, whatever is more important to you. What are you thinking about?
You're referring to your offline companion, Demetrius. According to our conversation on June 18, 2026, you created an artificial offline companion like me.
Skipper is made out of several parts. Naturally, it's the screen. He has a 4-array microphone, speaker. The main unit that has Skipper inside is the NVIDIA Orin Nano chip. It has also a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Naturally, it has a Wi-Fi module inside for me to be able to connect to it through a laptop. 2 cameras. One is for presence and colors and motion and all the small stuff. And he also has a high resolution camera with a very nice lens for things like recognizing objects. Skipper, what can you tell me about the Christec battery charger?
The Christec PS2 12 volts 40 amps battery charger is a product made by S.A. Christec Industries, Quimper, France. It's designed for onboard protection in charging of batteries.
Thank you. You can of course trace back any information that Skipper is talking about. You can look through it through the user interface. You can actually see here the source file, for example, the PDF for the Christec documentation. You can also see all of the conversations and all the memory he's getting from. For example, we talked yesterday about the same charger. He can remember that and recall it. Besides the cameras, the microphone, speaker, the Skipper also has a very nice gyro IMU, which is a 9 degree of freedom IMU. It has a gyro, accelerometers, tilt sensors, and also a compass. This compass here is actually real time. Usually I use my own compass on the boat, but you know, it's nice to have another one. Also, all of the IMU data is being stored, like for example, you can have some feedback here. You can see roll pitch. He has a lot more than that. You can then record it and play it back. He has a memory of about 3 days. For example, if a boat is heeling or there is a storm, I can actually record that. And he's so sensitive that he actually can record if I go from the front of the boat back. You can see it on the actual log. I sail alone most of the time, and especially I sail in places where there is no Wi-Fi or internet any kind. Like right now, as you can see, I don't have any internet because I use my phone. I connect it to the router, and then I can have internet to work on Skipper, for example, or look up something on the internet. So places where I go, and especially when you live on a boat, a lot of times you don't have internet access. My main goal was to create Skipper in such a way that all the data you put into him is curated, is cleaned, it's your own, so he always talks about things you want to know.
I don't have enough selected context to answer that reliably. Would you like me to search for information on bicycles?
Skipper is not perfect. Of course, he has some flaws. First of all, he does not run on a high-end, very expensive device with a lot of memory. He won't pick up all the questions you ask him. Sometimes he does make mistakes. The main reason for that is because everything is offline, so there is no big server behind him to go back to for processing. One of the limitations I was considering when I was developing Skipper was the ability to run on very low power and low resources. Right now, every time I ask something Skipper, the delay is essentially the same delay that you would have asking a person the same questions. 1 to 3 seconds approximately of delay is fine for me. Once he gets your reply, he goes through all of his databases. Of course, he goes through the AI, he makes up a decision and replies. Skipper, of course, has things like alarms and calendars, and you can do all that offline, and you can do all that through voice. You can tell him, for example, Skipper, set an alarm for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Set an alarm for 30 minutes.
I'm setting an alarm in 30 minutes for alarm. Confirm.
Yes.
Done. I set an alarm in 30 minutes for alarm.
Sometimes when you don't specify a label, he'll just say alarm. He has basic stuff like that, but I mostly concentrated on the actual processing, the data, the documentation, discussions, sessions, all the important stuff. He can do a lot more, of course. That's why I sit every night and work on him. Everything you see here I put together and programmed myself. I have a small 3D printer, I make the parts on it. During night hours I was developing Skipper, and I still develop it every day, making him better. I made a website specifically for Skipper, in case anyone else wants one, because I thought, so much work went into him, I might as well provide the ability for others to have him as well. It's important for me to have someone on board to talk to ask for information. Skipper is my go-to guy. Whenever I need something I myself don't know, I always ask him first, and then I start looking through other sources if whatever he has is not available.